Welcome back to Perfectly Imperfect. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. My gift to you, 5 reasons your dog's not listening. Maybe you've done all the training, spoke to all the trainers and all the behaviourists, and they can get the results you're looking for, but when it comes time for you to give it a try, all of a sudden the exercise is over and your dog has lost interest. Well, here's 5 reasons that could be happening, and stick around to the end to make sure you get the most value out of this video. But let's get into it. Number 1 on my list, and probably the most common that I run into, owners overspeak. Now, what I mean by this, at some point trainers were teaching and other owners were giving their opinions that when you say sit to a dog, if he or she does not sit, you then repeat and you repeat and you repeat. So by the 10th time your dog finally sits and receives a reward, you have accidentally just taught him that he did not need to listen to you the first 9 times, because he still got his reward. He was able to do what you wanted whenever he was ready. So these are 2 negative impacts on us and our relationship with our dog. So do not repeat yourself constantly as if you're having an argument and hope to get different results. When you constantly repeat, your dog learns how to fine-tune you out and you become a part of the background noise. What should you be doing instead? Well, give your verbal cue once, maybe twice after a 3-second rule, and if you find you still can't quite get your dog's attention, then you need to change the scenario, or you need to change the situation. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So, for example, if we're walking in this direction and I'm trying to communicate with my dog and he or she cannot hear me or they're not responding to me, then I need to either mix up my cue with my body language changing, or potentially change direction and refocus in with our connection. Thank you for watching the video this far. If you're finding it valuable in any way, maybe consider subscribing or at least giving it a nice thumbs up so others may find it helpful. Number 2 on my list. The dog is exploring new territory, new locations, new areas, and mum or dad holding the lead have simply become boring. Now again, if you're in a popular walking zone and there's been 2,000 dogs peeing, pooing, rubbing, playing, this brings a lot of different scents and information for your dog that he's going to enjoy and want to process. Now, if he is scouting and sniffing and exploring and mum or dad are just stood there saying come, 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 that's very boring. So you're going to need to try and think up a different scenario where you can actually become a part of the exploring and make sure you're making them positive memories and connections together, where yes, you get to sniff and explore now, but when I use this word or this sound or this excitement, it's time for you to check in. Now, some of you may be thinking, but I'm already doing the bouncing up and down and waving my hands and using excitement and my dog has no interest. Well, it could be the fact that he doesn't see you as a playmate, therefore he's not really interested or bothered by you wanting to play, in which case you can then try something different. For example, I find best results come from when I walk over to a tree or grass and I go, what's this? What's that? All of a sudden it piques the dog's interest and they're like, what's Luke found? What's he found? And then they come in with me. Just that little time there of them coming in with me gives me that connection that we're both exploring and we're both looking for information, which automatically means the dog stops ignoring me to try and figure out what I found. After a couple of seconds, I can just walk away and say, oh, I guess it was nothing. And the dog at that point will automatically have more attention on me, as if to say, what was it? What was it? What did you find? What was it? So we're already having a conversation, yet I'm not actually speaking directly to the dog. I'm simply showing that I found something very interesting. Number 3 on my list. Again, this comes under you're being very boring, but again, if you've gone to a field, your dog hasn't been walked today, and you've gone straight to a field, and straight away you're going into training mode, and training mode isn't fun, games, or excitement, or relationship-based building. It's very robotic, and when I said sit, you sit. When I say down, you down. Your dog's automatically going to say, I don't really want to work right now. I want to go and explore. I want to go and have fun. So again, choosing your timing and your style in this particular situation is very key in getting the results you want. Think of it whenever you've tried talking to your significant other, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, and at that moment they may have been answering in the correct places, but they really wasn't processing information. Why? Because they're focusing on something else at that point in time. So again, when it comes to the important conversations, we have to choose and pick our time. And of course, if you've done all of this already and you're still not getting the results, then you need to consider changing the location and where to train to first get some results before moving back to the more difficult location. Number 4 on my list, you have forced your dog to become independent. Now, I use the word force and it's quite a blunt word, but stay with me for a second. While on the walk, if you're too busy on the phone having a full conversation for 10 minutes, or you're just playing games on your phone, either way, you're not actually in tune with your dog. He's exploring all on his own, making up his own decisions on to go left, to go right, to go straight, to sniff, to run, to play, to roll. He's finding his own entertainment. Then he has no reason to actually turn to you for guidance, which of course means that he makes up his own mind. And if he makes up his own mind, again, no reason to listen to you, because you're not a part of the game, or you're not a part of this particular experience. I'm not saying you cannot check your phone while on a walk. I'm not saying you can't have a phone call while you're on your walk. But it's very important that we multitask. Okay, we need to kind of try and make a sort of 50-50 attention span. So 50% on the phone, 50% on the dog. And every 60 to 120 seconds of your dog's experience needs to have some type of communication. That can be this way, that can be come in, and again, that can be, what's this? What's this? Just saying these 3 things every 1 to 2 minutes will actually keep you involved in the experience. Meaning after the experience, your dog goes home and remembers me and mum/dad did this. It wasn't I walked mum and then I was off lead doing all these amazing things and mum just stood there in the corner being boring. We walked, we did this, we did that. You're creating a unit, a team. So, try to make sure your dog has a little independence when needed, yes, but overall, when it comes to the experiences, he needs to directly remember these experiences were me and mum or me and dad. Thank you for watching the video this far. If you're finding it valuable in any way, maybe consider subscribing or at least giving it a nice thumbs up so others may find it helpful. Number 5 on my list, and again, this one's quite a common one that a lot of trainers recommend, but there's really not too much information out there to tell you how to do this. If your dog has a few listening skills in the house but you suddenly becomes deaf while outside, whether that's exploring new areas or not, it's simply the fact that outside becomes overstimulating. And as I mentioned in my last video, having you stand out in a very large crowd of information is very difficult, even for trainers. So what can we do here? We can do a little bit of energy burning before the walk or before the training session, but ultimately try and do the more boring side of training once your dog has had a really good walk or a really good run. Once he has burnt off his physical energy and he's taken in some stimulation already, that's the perfect time for us to start trying to give more information diverted to more what we would like him to learn. Okay guys, that's been 5 reasons your dog won't listen to you. A massive thank you for watching. A massive thank you for the support from my last video. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing, maybe even giving a thumbs up so this video can go further on YouTube and help more people. But I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.